Welcome to the 19th edition of the Fallout Feed Roundtable. It's the first episode of Season 3. We are the show who compares and contrasts Fallout experiences through a lively roundtable discussion by playing the same quest with characters who have been randomly assigned drastically different attributes. Welcome, everyone.
Oh, that's incredible. Thank you. Thank you so much for introducing us tonight, Michelle. Welcome to the third. Sorry, I'm crackling there. My bad. Thank you, everyone. Welcome to the third season of the Fallout Feed Roundtable. Very exciting to start another season of the Roundtable. Tonight, we are joined by Pat. Hello, Pat. How are you doing tonight, sir?
Hey Andrew, it's Pat here. Sorry, I was double muted. I was hardware and software muted out there. Doing okay. A little allergies aside, things are going great. Thanks.
Yeah, I'm having trouble clearing my throat on this side too. It's just can't get over anything. Michelle, thank you for the introduction. How are you this evening, sir?
I'm not so bad. A little cold, but it's okay.
A little cold. Oh no.
Yeah.
Okay. And also Lee. Lee, what's going on? How are you doing?
I am doing just fine as far as I can discern.
Oh, great. hopefully you can discern accurately that you are well. That's awesome. Thanks for hopping on, Lee and Michelle. They are both play-along participants for the Fallout Feed Roundtable. And tonight we'll probably just do lots of character introductions. And this season of the Roundtable, we're doing Nuka World and a big set of mod quests together. The mod quests are collectively known as Tales from the Commonwealth. Mod by Chris Takahashi. So everyone check that out if you will. A very awesome set of stories altogether. So we're going to get into some Tales from the Commonwealth and some Nuka World this season. So welcome, everyone. We're very glad to have our play-along participants. If you're interested in doing a play-along, please just give us an email. Contact us at thefalloutfeed@gmail.com. And then you can go to ASAPodcasting, click on the Fallout Feed section of the website there. And it's called Fallout Roundtable Random Character Generator that you'll find there. Give yourself a refresh and you will have a random character. You can use that character, or if it's something pops up that is really how you usually play, what we're trying to do is get ourselves out of our normal comfort zone a little bit here. So if it's something that you usually do, if you pull up melee build and that's something you're usually comfortable with, go ahead and give yourself another roll. Get yourself out of your comfort zone. That's really what we're trying to do here. So, and then seriously, if you haven't listened to the Roundtable before, generally, like we said it in the intro, but what we do is we roll these random characters and then we all play the same quests, and then we just gather here to compare how the different assignments of those stats and attributes and skills, how those affect your characters as they have to make their way through the adventures. So that's basically what we're going to do here. Welcome, everyone, all new listeners. If you'd like to do a play along, we're very encouraging. We like to have everyone do that. You can send in emails telling us about your adventures, or you can also, we love to hear your voice. Send us in a little MP3 of your voice just telling us about your character. So let's go ahead and get into some of this stuff tonight. We've got Pat and Lee and Michelle with us tonight. So let's just talk about our roles, I guess, what we got first off, and then we can also get into what we've been doing to prepare, because Nuka World has a base suggested minimum level of 30, which I actually haven't hit yet. I went over there at like level 26, came out at 28 or so, and I am much worse for the wear. It is just bad stuff over there, getting out of that gauntlet stuff. But so we'll get into that here in a little bit. But hey, Pat, why don't you go ahead and tell us a little bit about your role, if you wouldn't mind. I know you've got the allergies, can't speak for long sessions or whatever, but we'll start bouncing some ideas back and forth here as well.
All right. Thanks, Andrew. I'll try to tough it out here. So I rolled a female character, which I think we had a very much preponderance of female characters rolled, among the podcast crew and a lot of the play along participants for whatever reason. So I rolled a female character. She has a follower of dog meat, an assigned, which actually for me is pretty normal. If I go with a follower, Dogbeat is often who I'll go with because, as I think everybody knows by now, the Lone Wanderer perk is enabled with Dogbeat, so he still plays nicely with the Lone Wanderer perk. I have an assigned settlement of Kingsport Lighthouse. I am assigned to Romance Hancock. I'm going to follow in the Commonwealth. I'm going to follow the Railroad as my faction. And then once I bounce over to Nuka World, I am assigned the Disciples as my faction. So I'll just go ahead and run through everything, and then we can kind of come back and just kind of chat about anything in my character we want to. But so my assigned special, Strength of 6, Perception of 7, Endurance of 2, Charisma of 3, Intelligence of 6, Agility of 2, and Luck of 2. So a little bit kind of min-max there. I had 3 pretty high stats. It's Strength, Perception, and Intelligence at 6, 7, and 6. And then 4 pretty low ones: Endurance, Charisma, Agility, and Luck, all at 2, 2, 3, 2. 2, 3, 2, 2. My assigned perks were, and I'll just read through them without commenting. We can go to the commenting later. My assigned perks for strength were Basher, Pickpocket, Lead Belly for endurance, Black Widow for charisma, Scrapper for intelligence, Gunslinger for agility, Mysterious Stranger for luck, and that is it. So that was my role from the random generator available at ASAPodcasting.com.
Thank you for the quick plug there. So what does that leave you, Pat? You said you're a little bit of a min-max here. If you have strength of 6, perception of 7, and intelligence of 6, what are your concentrated? I mean, besides the ones you're assigned, what are the advantageous sort of like?
Yeah, so a couple things. So the good news is now remember the character generator won't assign you a perk that's more than 2 levels higher than your assigned special stat. So the one thing that worked pretty well for me, and again, I know we're supposed to stretch ourselves, but I'm not a very good player, so I kind of revert back to my own style a lot. The thing that worked pretty well for me is the Gunslinger Perception. So I've got a Perception of 7 and Agility of 2, but Gunslinger is available at Agility 1. So I'm able to get my the Gunslinger matches up pretty well with Perception. So that's not a bad combo. I've already complained about the Basher stat on strength, even though that's very, very high up the strength chart, all the way up at 8. I think it's just a terrible perk.
But you've gotten yourself up to you said you have taken a perk in Basher already. Right? Yeah.
So where I am actually in game, I'm actually at level 40. So I've progressed pretty far. And I've got my deal I made with myself in terms of the Roundtable was to make sure that I got every stat up to at least 1 dot before going into Nuka World. Sorry for the silence there. Had to do a cough.
That makes sense.
So I got my Basher up to my strength up to 8 and took the Basher, and maybe I'll pause there and let somebody else take over while I kind of deal with this cough.
No, you're fine. Hey, Lee, sir, why don't we? Do you have your random roll in front of you? Let's go ahead and visit some of your random stats there.
Alrighty. Another female. My character's name is Bethany. The specials are strength of 2. And this is the originals, of course.
Yeah.
Strength of 2, perception of 2, endurance of 4, charisma 4, intelligence 6, agility 4, luck of 6.
Nice.
And the perks to go with those in order are armorer, locksmith, aqua girl, black widow, gun nut, gunslinger, and scrounger. Now, one thing about this was the locksmith, I think, requires like 4 or 5 perception, and I started out with 2.
Yeah, it
So I
should.
wound up having to dump some stuff into perception
Yeah.
as
That's
I leveled up.
yeah. It's set up so that you shouldn't have to do more than 2 above the assigned. So that stinks. You have to invest a little bit of your base of your first early, because you want to take those early perks and get stuff that you really want. You know what I mean? You don't want to have to invest those in your overall specials in order to get your perks up. So that stinks. Hopefully you didn't get too many that were 2 above. You know what I mean?
No, they were pretty good. I think that was the main offender there because,
Yeah.
and excuse me, even with that, I waited till like level 5 and 6 to bring it up.
Yeah.
Well,
Locksmith
so
is
I did put the special book into it as well.
Oh yeah, that's good. I didn't even. So what did I do? I probably put mine in perception. I think that's what I was doing. I was probably concentrating on that. Yeah, I almost always forget that damn book too until I'm like wandering through Sanctuary. Like, oh yeah, I have to go back. I need that book. Extra free point into something.
And unlike you, I'm addicted to Locksmith, so I had to have it.
No, it's something I always wish that I would take because it's frustrating to not get into stuff. It's just I'm always wanting to pick up the more damage perk. I don't know why. It's just like I want to pick up the ones that help me sneak better, which is a change for me. Like the last couple characters, I've gotten into more sneaking than I have in my previous stuff. But I always want to do the more things that give you more damage. I always want to grab those perks for some reason, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And the magazines, you always got to look up which magazines give me like a little bump here and there and better crits and stuff like that. I got to go find those.
Yeah. The follower I got was assigned with Strong, so I did spend some time with Strong. It was kind of interesting that with the time that I went to the Cambridge Police Station for dance, I went in with Strong, and nobody seemed to care. It was just odd. I would have thought that
they're supposed to hate super mutants.
Yeah. It's like they didn't even see him or something.
It's kind of a thing. They should have been.
Well, the Fallout 4 Brotherhood of Steel is a lot more obsessed over synths. The Fallout 3 Brotherhood of Steel, yeah, they hate everything that's not straight up pure human. They hate ghouls and super mutants and blah blah blah. Everybody, including non-feral ghouls. They're anti everybody who's not just a straight up human in Fallout 3.
Oh, they like. Oh man, they dislike ghouls. That is something that is very confusing to me because I haven't played any of the past games. Is that the Brotherhood of Steel isn't sort of like a whole one-line congruent organization. They have many different branches and iterations with different concentrations of what they're trying to accomplish.
Right. One of the things is that over the years, they've sent out different parties, and these parties have kind of developed into their own subsections depending on what the proclivities of their leader was.
Yeah. Yeah, so the Fallout 3 Brotherhood, I mean, so aside from the fact that they're completely intolerant of even intelligent ghouls, they're actually very sort of helpful overall. Whereas, the Fallout New Vegas Brotherhood is very kind of isolationist and doesn't want to have anything to do with anybody else. And then of course, everybody knows the Fallout 4 Brotherhood, which is kind of somewhere in the middle of those maybe.
Yeah. Mine came out pretty well because my Commonwealth faction is Brotherhood of Steel, and I'm supposed to romance Dance. Now,
that's convenient.
Of course, having to side with the Brotherhood is a little odd for me, but I'll, kind of be behind the scenes and see what comes of things.
You figure out, you were questioning the order of operations in which you'd have to do because, spoiler alert for all of you who haven't actually finished the game, but Dance turns out to not be a favorite participant of the Brotherhood of Steel in the end. Right. So, Lee, did you figure out what order of operations you'd have to go in order to win Dance's affections and be a good standing participant of the Brotherhood of Steel? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean, and I've heard it discussed before. And I'm just kind of I did look into it a little bit, and it basically is be supportive of Dance and and that will help with the having a romance dance. But I'm not sure where we're going to stand with the Brotherhood when it comes to the end, and we'll just have to deal with that when we get to it.
Well, some of the followers, I believe, have their affinity perk tied to a specific accomplishment in a quest, if I remember right. And others are just like, do enough cool stuff around them and they'll like you eventually.
Right.
I don't remember if dance is one that's quest locked. For some reason, I think in order to get dance's affinity, you have to go down to that bunker thing that looks like sort of a pyramid without a top. Does that make sense? Way down there in the glowing sea near the bottom.
Okay, I haven't had to do that before.
I don't know what that place is called. Pat, do you have any idea what I'm talking about?
I the one where the well, no, I thought you got sent there.
I thought you got sent there through the Brotherhood of Steel.
You do, but I forget when it happens.
And I thought
I've heard of the pyramid
for dance's affinity, but I don't remember exactly how that all plays out. It's been a long time since I've done that.
Yeah, same here. I've only done one Brotherhood playthrough, and I slightly murdered Dance as a result of that.
Yeah, they don't make it easy.
I was going like all in on the Brotherhood, man. I was a true believer in that playthrough. So Dance kind of sort of didn't survive.
Listen to Austin's holotape or whatever. I don't know. Lee, what else we got here?
When we get out to the Nuka world, I'm decided with the Commonwealth, so that's good. That means Dance and I can
lucky
go out there
Lee.
and kill everybody if we want to.
I don't really know what that means yet.
Well, I think it means you can murder rate everybody out there if you want to.
But does that mean we're just you don't? Are there quests involved with this Nuka World stuff between these different raider factions, or you can just go in and destroy them all, and that will kill all those quests? Like I don't know how that works yet. You know what I mean?
You just don't do. I mean, we're not there yet, right? We're nowhere near to that point in the game. But you just don't do the. So after you finish Nuka World, spoiler alert for episode 4 or whatever, or the Roundtable. The Raiders say, okay, it's time to take over the Commonwealth. And so I think when we said there's a Commonwealth faction, you don't do that, right?
Right. That's my understanding.
That's the way.
And then you can turn on the Raider factions.
Yeah.
Yeah. It sounds like you don't have to though either. You just don't attack. Don't go with them.
That's true. That's true. You could just sort of stop because Nuka World. You don't really kind of win. You sort of either do a thing or you don't do a thing. So you could do the Nuka World quest and then just kind of stop doing Nuka World and ignore the Raiders when they say go do this other stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Or you could murder the Raiders, whichever you prefer.
I'm just really surprised that Andrew doesn't have this all mapped out and know how we're all going to proceed through it.
Well, that's the point of playing it. I'd say I haven't.
Yeah,
I only played it to a certain extent. I think I got I played through the entire thing, I believe, but I didn't really flesh out the whole turning different factions against each other and all that sort of stuff. So I'm interested to hear what about the the little differences that each of us can have.
Yes,
so you got the Commonwealth Raiders, and you got the Brotherhood. Where are you living?
Well, I kind of avoided that up to this point because I'm afraid I'm gonna break your little heart.
Hey, don't break my heart, baby.
I was assigned Nordhagen Beach,
Lee.
and while I was off screwing around, I failed the initial quest, so I cannot get that as a settlement.
Did they let you try again?
I don't think so, and especially since the mission I got was they've captured my wife, and so the guy's wife is gone.
Yeah, she's dead.
So
you failed. It means she's dead.
I assume so.
Oh no!
So
that poor woman.
So much for Nordhagen Beach. I am so sorry.
It's too bad. That was actually interesting. I was curious if they would send you again because Preston sent me to help a settlement, and I don't remember which one it was in particular, but I also failed it. And when I went back there again, I kept trying to like, hey, talk to him, sweet him up. I want to use your
Right.
workbench. Send me out on something else, and they wouldn't talk to me. They wouldn't interact with me really. So
Yeah, that's what I've had so far. I've only tried like once, but
yeah, I hope I didn't break that settlement.
I don't know if I've ever had that happen. I don't know that I've ever failed one of the settlement quests.
Yeah, I've never failed.
It might have been the first time I have. Like I'd never noticed that happen before, and I was just like, "Oh, that's odd."
I mean, I guess the only one you could. So Lee, yours was a hostage quest, and the hostage was killed, right? Is that what happened?
well, I just got the notice that I'd failed the quest, so I assume when I went back there, she wasn't there. So
Hmm.
Oh no!
I've never had that happen. Wow.
it takes a special gift.
I like it. I'm now I have a challenge. I want that to happen to me.
I've had that happen, but after I had unlocked the settlement. So
Yeah.
trouble,
That's right. Yeah, so that's what I'm talking about, Michelle. Yeah, I've never failed the unlocking the settlement quest.
Yeah, that's it.
Maybe that's what I failed. Maybe they got attacked by something, and I just let it sit so long without helping them.
I do that all the time. Those little shits need to take care of themselves. I mean, it's not my problem if they get attacked. Look, I've given them turrets. I've given them water. I've given them beds. They need to defend themselves.
I was about to ask, do you make sure that all of their needs are met before you?
Sometimes.
Sometimes.
It depends on whether I can be. So I for me, like if I'm playing the way that I play normally, I'll have local leader, and then at that point, yes, I'll do that. But in the round table where my charisma is terrible and I can't do local leader, I'll just like I'll set up like I'll try to get a settlement kind of in every general area of the map, but like if I've got the slog, I'm not going to worry about getting Green Top Nursery because they're right next to each other, or vice versa.
Yeah.
Or if I've got Sanctuary, I'm not going to worry about Red Rocket or Abernathy Farm. I'm just going to get one in kind of each sort of pocket of. So like I've got Taffing the Boathouse is in the middle, the Slog is in the east, Sanctuary is in the west, and I haven't got one in the south yet. But that's kind of my general idea.
The Slog is nice. I've noticed. I don't know. Is he there all the time? But there's a doctor who's there at the little south.
The creepy guy who
just
tell me your problems. Yeah, I can fix you up. Yeah, that guy. Yeah.
Is he a traveling doctor? Or is
yeah. He's really good. Yeah.
I see him at the Slog a lot. Where else does he go?
He'll show up in Bunker Hill.
Country Crossing.
Yeah. He'll show up. Yeah, he kind of goes like sort of up and down the east, maybe. Yeah, all those.
You got to remember though, he's got no fix for personality.
In my game, he doesn't go anywhere. He's dead. I found him near the wall.
Oh,
you didn't kill him though.
No, don't know what happened.
Oh, why would you kill a doctor? They're very useful.
Yeah, jeez.
Yeah.
That stinks.
There's a couple of traveling doctors. There's that one, and there's a woman. There's a woman doctor who's the level 4 doctor that you can assign to a settlement. I forget her name.
you're the one that lives in the irradiated area.
That one I think isn't that one a ghoul doctor?
Must be.
I think that one is a ghoul. The one I'm thinking about, Lee, is a human. She's like an older woman, and I forget her name, but she's the one that you can convince to join one of your settlements and be the doctor at your settlement.
Oh gosh, I need to know more about that. I need some doctors. It's always rough trying to
if you have local leader 2 and have all the upgraded level 3 stores or stations or whatever, like there's a few isolated people that can, like there's like a level 4 doctor who will like comes be the doctor at your station. There's like a level 4 merchant, whatever. And there's only like one of those. I think there's only one of those in the game, of each of the types.
Yeah, but that means you have to upgrade your shop or whatever to
level 3.
Yeah.
Which is worth it though, because those pay off over time, because the level that you remember, those shops make money for your settlements.
Yeah.
So it's over time, it's worth it to go ahead and do the level 3, because they're just going to make more money. So like I've got settlements with like level 3 of everything, and they just make a shitload of caps. It's great. You go back to that settlement, it'll be like 1,000 caps sitting in your workbench.
And they got better stuff and more.
Yep, that's right. Yeah. That's my in my long-term game. I've got all that stuff at Hangman's Alley. So Hangman's Alley's got everything all upgraded. It's great.
I haven't done many of the stores, and I wouldn't have thought to look for caps in the workbench.
Yeah, they generate caps. Yeah.
That's like the water.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it works the same way as purified water. Exactly. Yeah.
How does the electrified water pump work, Pat? Because the last couple times I've come back to my workbench, I haven't had any purified water in it.
If you have to have more water than your settlement needs. So like if you've got 15 people in your settlement, you need more than 15 water. I think that's right.
Now, I've only got like me, Preston, and a couple robots at this settlement. This is a Red Rocket. I've got my like big settlement with lots of.
I forget you look at I forget what electrified water pump makes. Like the water purifier makes 10. And so if you got, like I usually, like in Sanctuary Hills, I usually make like 5 purified water water purifiers, and just crank out a shit, because that's where I have my adhesive farm, which consumes water too.
But at Red Rocket, it's unfortunate I don't have any open water source, so I have to do the electrified water.
Yeah. It's not as good as the water purifier.
But it doesn't have. I find that whenever I go back to an area that I have the water purifier, I always have a plentiful source. Like there's always at least 10, 15, 20 sitting there waiting for me every time I go back. But this water pump, I'm finding lacking. You know what I mean? I was just wondering. I keep going over to the generator that's by, turning it on and off, and being like, okay, did I do something wrong? Is it like, did I turn it off somehow? Did I break it? Because in this game, if you accidentally are in build mode and then move something half an inch, then whatever's connected to it will stop working. You should actually probably store it and then rebuild it or whatever. A little thing that happened. So I was like, did I do that? I'm not even sure what happened.
It's all those lushes you have as settlers.
Yes.
They'll drink up all your water.
Yeah. Drinking all my booze and water. They need to be growing some razor grain so I can make my noodle cups.
Noodle cups. Love me some noodle cups.
Pat has recently taught me the glory of the noodle cup.
They're helpful.
Enjoy the noodle cup.
Do we want to get into mods at all?
Lee, were we done with your character introduction there?
Yeah, unless you want to get into mods.
We still haven't even checked in with Michelle on his character.
Please do.
And we'll drop in on mine real quick. But yeah, let's talk about mods as well. Is there something you wanted to bring up real quick before we got into Michelle's stuff, Lee, that you're excited about?
No, it can wait.
Okay, cool. Michelle, let's go ahead and chit chat about your build. Well, actually, let's real quick, Pat, check in with Pat. Was there something else you needed to mention before we move on? I think we sort of cut yours short a little bit.
No, well, I cut myself short because that was a coughing. No, I was done. I think we probably want to talk about our intros, and then we can kind of come back to where we are. Because right now, I think I mentioned I was at level 40, so I'm pretty far away from my initial build. But we should probably cover the initial builds for everybody first.
Yeah. Okay. Good. All right. So then we'll go ahead and check in with Michelle then.
Okay. I rolled a female. Her name is Shirley Asti. My follower was Dogmeat. My settlement, Coastal Cottage. I had to romance Curie. My Commonwealth faction was the Arborman. Raider faction, the Pack. My specials, Strength 4 with Blacksmith. Perception 6 with Awareness. Endurance 4 with Rad Resistant. Charisma 2 with attack dog, intelligence 4 with hacker, agility 5 with sneak, and luck 3 with idiot savant. Quite different than Jennifer.
Yeah.
Remind us
Yeah.
what
Yeah.
Jennifer would have been like in comparison.
Jennifer had charisma 6, intelligence 6,
Yeah,
strength only 1.
With
So,
with charisma too, are you the attack dog?
yeah, I am the attack dog.
What does attack dog do? Does he literally just go up and grab their leg or something? What happens there?
Yeah.
He does that
It's
already
different.
anyway sometimes.
Supposed to hold him still so you can shoot him in the head.
Yeah, never used it.
Have you invested any perk points into it yet?
Nope. I have not. I took dog meat for I'd say 11, 12 levels, and then I started traveling with Curie because she was my romance, and you have to do a lot.
Yeah,
And
curious.
then I realized that to go up the affinity with Curie, I had to do 5-6 quests of the main storyline because Dr. Amari won't operate Curie if you have not done the quest where you go to her to get to the Kellogg's memory. So I had to go up to that in the main quest
Oh man.
before I could go ahead with Curie.
You have to go to that
So-
memory den BS.
Yeah, I had to go to the memory den with Nick and do the main quest up to that point. Then get Curie and had her get the operation. But now she's okay. So that was a bit longer than I thought.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How far along with you are you with Curie's?
Ah, she's maxed for a long time now.
Now you got her. What is her perk?
She gives you special stim packs
Oh, that's nice.
once a day, I think. And regular stim packs a couple of times a day.
A special sort of stim pack. I think, if I remember right, Pat, isn't there some sort of like special stim pack in New Vegas, or maybe that was 3?
No, you're right. It's New Vegas. There's the super stim pack.
Super
But it has this weird debuff that kind of is unfavorable. So I usually just stick with regular stim packs because I'm not playing in what I'm doing. I'm not playing on hardcore or anything. So it's just like you can just like jam stim packs in your arm and they'll just act. They act instantly.
In New Vegas, you mean?
That's right. Yeah. In non-hardcore New Vegas, you can just like suck stim packs like water. They're basically like food.
Yeah, I forgot to ask everyone so far. Michelle, what difficulty level are you playing at? Are you a survival guy? Do you do medium? What's
No, I play very hard.
very hard?
Yeah.
I found through some just looking around at if you get really deep into the wiki, you can find the mathematics probability scales and tables, stuff like that. I was looking at some of the probability tables of damage given and received, and I thought that it was supposed to be a survival mode was supposed to be a lot like you deal more damage and more damage is dealt to you or whatever, but it turns out that I think very hard is the exact same probability scale as survival mode, but which it's significantly more than the ones before. But I think all I'm saying is I think very hard is the same thing as survival mode, just without the resource management aspect.
Yeah, the big difference is your needs.
Yeah,
you don't have to worry about the food and the water. But as for the difficulty, I'm not sure there's a big difference.
I don't think there is. I think the probabilities are the same.
And the level I'm up right now, I can get 12, 15 super mutants, but many of them with machine guns. You don't live very long.
Yeah.
What level have you made it up to? What is Shirley up to now?
Now she is level 63.
Wow, 60.
Yeah, 63.
Shirley, I love it, baby.
Wow.
Yeah, because it was long. I thought about Curie, the main quest, the Harborman.
The
To
Harbor
get to get friendly with the Harborman, you have to do many quests. I did all the quests for Cassie. I did the quest for the Mariner. I
You could,
did the Captain dance,
I was
and
gonna say, you
then
could dance with the Mirelurks.
yeah, just then I got friendly with the Harborman.
Yeah, I mean that's
So
all stuff that we need to get into too. What we've all been doing to get prepared to level up
yeah,
to level 30 to go in. That's we need
yeah.
to circle back and talk about all that stuff too. That's great. I love all that Harborman faction quest is really fun too. All
Mm.
of that stuff that goes over on Far Harbor. But yeah, we need to also discuss the back story of our characters eventually, because you said that you wrote in some Harbormen connections to your character as well. So
Mm.
that'd be great to hear.
But the big difference between Shirley and Jennifer, I had to change my tactics when fighting. Shirley is an adept, maybe because I listened too much of Pat's playthroughs with Archer. She's very fond on grenades, and she's maxed in Commando now and Demolition Expert.
Oh, nice.
So she goes with grenades, and then she rushes in with spray and pray,
Mm.
Oh, I
or
love
with
that gun.
or with the Grimstoot. So
Yeah.
I used to be a sniper, sneak and snipe, and I would take 20-25 minutes to clear a place. Now I throw a few grenades, I rush in. That's very different.
One of my
But I die a lot more too.
yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
one of my favorite places to lob grenades. I don't know why, but I get a lot of pleasure out of going to the very first time you go to Vault 88. There's a bunch of raiders sort of in a pit around there. I love just launching grenades. And Pat, your Let's Plays, you're using like a grenade launcher, and then I'm just like, why aren't there grenade launchers? Why is it only just fat?
Yeah, I know. Yeah. There's actually a mod that brings grenade launchers. I've not used it. That's one of the ones I want to try. Now that I've got a PC with where it'll be a little easier to do mods. There's a mod to bring grenade launchers into Fallout 4.
Yeah, that'd be nice. That must mean that was only a New Vegas thing, and it probably wasn't in 3 either, right?
Geez, I don't remember. I don't remember if there were grenade. I don't think there were grenade launchers in 3. The grenade launchers in 4. I mean, so like if you guys have seen the Terminator movie and like Linda Hamilton with the grenade launchers, right? It's exactly like that, right? It's just like little sort of like you break the breach and you slam a grenade in there. You cock it one-handed. It's really badass. It's a lot of fun walking around with the grenade launchers in Fallout New Vegas.
I think I prefer the grenades.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Less dangerous.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Look, the arc that you can get with Demolition Expert 2 and Fallout 4 is really nice.
Yeah, because the spray and pray makes me think about your grenade launcher, and that's why I die a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, spray and pray is could be very hazardous to your health if you're not careful.
Yeah.
Close range with stuff. They'll get you.
Yeah, with the ghouls.
Oh yeah. Spray and pray is not good for ghouls because they're in your face so fast. Yeah.
They rush at you.
Yeah.
I
So
really
Andrew, what about your character? We haven't heard about your role yet.
Sure. Did we Michelle, did we finish up with everything in there? Did we get over your Curie and your factions?
Yeah. That's enough for now.
Okay, cool. I still don't know what all the different raider factions mean in Nuka World. They evidently all have very distinct personalities. I haven't really gotten to know them yet. I do know that I want to kill all the people in the pack and take all their. That's
hats. It's all about the hats.
I love hats. God. Me and Shalene and I can just start a Fallout 4 hat store. If you guys want to stop by the Shalene Haberdashery. My character, I'm sort of I'm not a great role player, guys. I'm not very good about sinking into the psyche of a character and really and and role playing strong, but I'm trying to a little bit here with my character Susan. I'm playing like if the host of West Vault Radio, Susan, popped out of Vault 97 and went adventuring for a little while. Everyone, I encourage you, please check out the podcast, West Vault Radio. You can find that at vault97.com or any of your awesome podcatchers out there. But this is the host of a radio show who lives in a vault with a bunch of robots. So she's a little bit quirky, shall we say. But she loves to have a good time, and she's out adventuring in the wasteland. So I'm trying to play that a little bit. I don't have her in my favorite sort of outfits yet. I can't really open up and expand her outfits until I start getting ballistic weave. And I've been doing so many stupid quests for the people over at the railroad. I can't figure out what combination of quest I need to do to get people to offer me the damn ballistic weave.
You have to do it's a DIA cache.
I've done like 3 of those fucking things for Pam. And
have you gone to Tinker Tom?
And yeah, I check in with Tom every time. Do you go into his barter sub menu, or does he?
Well, you can tell if you have unlocked ballistic weave, Tom will have armored shit for sale.
Yeah, see, that's what I thought. I keep checking his inventory; never has it. So
you must be bugged, because it's once you've unlocked the DIA caches for Pam, Tom should have that stuff, and you should be able to do it at the workbench.
Maybe not have done all 3. Are there 3?
You're supposed to get it after just the first one, I think.
God, because I've unlocked at least 2.
I was
And
thinking,
when you go to
go on, Michelle.
and when you go to your armor workbench, you don't see the option?
No, not yet.
Because I had that problem. I thought I didn't have it, and suddenly I was working my armor workbench, trying to do a mod, and I saw that I had the ballistic weave option.
Oh, nice.
And
Maybe
I
I
never
should
knew
just
it.
Maybe I accidentally rushed through a menu and Tom did say it, but it's not in his inventory to sell, so I doubt it. But
Is it tied to doing the Milas for him?
I've set up like
No, it's not supposed to be. It's supposed to be just the DIA caches for Pam.
I think I've done at least 2 of those. Maybe not.
Because you do the DIA caches for Pam, and you get a covert sweater vest as a reward.
Ooh.
And once you have the covert sweater vest, that's when you can go to Tom and buy the armored crap from. But his stuff is only ballistic weave level 1, so you can get much better stuff at your own workbench once you have it unlocked.
Yeah, but I'm not. Let's see. You have to get armorer probably.
To get level 2, yeah. You can get level 1 ballistic weave with no armor, and then every level of armor adds one level to your ballistic weave.
So let's see. Armor is strength what? 4, 5, 6? I don't know.
3, I think.
Oh, it's only 3.
I thought it was. It's pretty low.
Man, I haven't even considered getting
I
it.
started out with strength 2, and I think I got it right off the bat.
It's 3.
It's 3?
It's 3.
Okay.
Yeah, because it's Iron Fist, Big Leagues, Armor, Blacksmith, I think is the order.
3. Nice. I might be able to get that. Let's see, what is my character? Yeah, I totally have enough. I can totally get armor. So you guys, I assume you guys who are higher leveled up, like, Pat's in his 40s, Michelle's already in 60s already. I'm just barely in my high 20s over here. What sort of spin-off perks are you guys getting into? What are your go-tos once you're like fulfilled your crappy roundtable assignments?
When I got to 30, I did local leader.
Yeah, God, we did that.
I had added a couple of charisma points on the way.
Yeah. I have to build it up there and see what. So you had only 4. You have to get to 6, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's one I always try to get to. See, that's if I really want to play the game differently and get out of my normal play style, I would refuse myself local leader at all because I'm so dependent upon that system.
Yeah, that's one of my pet theories is that local leaders should not be charisma 6. That's kind of crazy because it's such a fundamental element of the game. It should be like charisma 3 or 2 or something.
Well, is it such a fundamental aspect of the game for someone like maybe Denny who doesn't build? Like, do you need it?
It doesn't. That's the thing. I don't build that much either. But in survival mode, I have my network of settlements, and like what I'll do is I'll build like a doctor or a radiation arch at every one of those settlements. So I go to my settlements and I replenish my water and I derad myself, and I may or may not have food there, but food's not the issue. It's your purified water, and so like there's a shit ton of different food you can get.
Yeah.
But there's only like a couple of ways to satisfy your thirst. There's purified water, there's noodle cups, there's vegetable soup. That's about it.
Melons.
Well, there's melons, right. But and the good thing about purified water is you can create purified water with only machines. You don't need settlers to do it.
Pat, how do I get a just incredibly steady source of empty glass bottles, empty milk bottles?
You have to go collect them. So, what I do is actually, it's funny you asked that, Andrew, because tonight I went to the Beantown Brewery and I collected 80 bottles, and I made 80, and I went and made 80.
Oh, that's amazing.
Dirty waters, so I can make 80 noodle cups.
Do you just go to the river to get your?
I just go there. Well, no, I stepped out of the Beantown Brewery door, and there's a puddle at your feet, and I stood in that puddle and I filled up 80 bottles and made 80 dirty waters.
That's probably at least
because that puddle was closer to me than going to the river. I'm lazy. I'm a lazy gamer. Penny is a power gamer. I am a lazy gamer.
That puddle had like 10 gallons of water in it.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
We're all proud of you, Pat.
Yeah.
That's really funny. Hey, do you know who I have waiting for me at the Beantown Brewery right now?
Oh shit, Jesus! You're supposed to do something different, man. Kill him.
I haven't.
Kill him dead.
I haven't picked him up.
So I did something I've never done before. Well, actually, I did the Beantown Brewery, and so Tower Tom is dead, and I've never talked to Vadim. So I don't know what's going to happen if I go do the Travis quest when I've already killed Tower Tom.
Oh, is he the guy you fist fight with?
No, he's the raider leader in Beantown Brewery.
Oh.
I've already killed him, and I've never talked to Vadim. So it'll be interesting. I don't know if Tower Tom gets resurrected, if the Travis quest will be I'm going to do the Travis quest now just out of curiosity to see what happens.
Just spawn a nameless legendary raider.
That's right. It may just be filled with just nameless raiders. That's right. Yeah.
Who knows? I don't even.
So if nothing else, like I'm being kind of bad because I'm totally cheating because I'm like using my leveling up to get the skills that I like, but I'm trying to do some other things that I don't do just to play around with the game differently.
Yeah. Well, this is something out of the norm. Susan was assigned a strength of 6, so Iron Fist was one of my perks that I had. I've never used any sort of. See, I thought a Power Fist would be a melee weapon, but it is not. It is considered an unarmed weapon even. So I picked up what is that? The VATS enhanced? Is that what the Strong's one is?
His is Furious, I believe.
Furious. What does that perk do? Is that a damage each time you hit something?
I forget what Furious, I forget what the Furious keyword does.
But I got it at a very low level because of Denny's exploit he mentioned. I, would have just not even been able to even attempt to kill Swan at level 6 or 7. You know what I mean? Like that just wouldn't be something I even want to attempt. But Denny told me, hey, there's that entry to the subway down there. Is that the same subway where you go down to get Nick?
Yeah, Park Street Station. Yeah.
Okay. The Park Street Station there. So you just duck down into that tunnel. It's not the tunnel; it's the entryway to the double doors into the subway station there. And Swan comes up and he wants to chuck his clods of mud. I don't even know what they throw at you, but whatever out of his shopping cart on his back, he's throwing at you. The ceiling of the the entryway there blocks all of those, so he can't actually hit you. He just stands there and yells and throws stuff, but it can't actually hit you at all. So you just take your sweet time and unload magazine after magazine after magazine after magazine. I swear it took 60, 70 shotgun slugs with a double barrel. This was not a combat situation where it was quick. It was just like bang, bang, reload, bang, bang, reload. Oh, it sucked. It took forever. But eventually we took Swan down with some shotgun slugs and grabbed the, I think you're right, the Furious Power Fist.
Yeah.
That sounds correct now. And did you say what?
And you were right about the effect. It does more damage the more you hit.
Each time you hit a specific body part, it probably does take more damage or something like that. But I've never really used that before. I've always taken. You guys, when you have your loadout or whatever you like to call it, when your character comes, he drops everything off. You're doing like a clean. You're doing sleep. You're getting rid of your rads. You're getting fresh and clean for a new day of adventuring. What sort of like loadout do you do? Do you take like a gun of each type, and do you have a couple of different food items and maybe some health? I like to have a handgun and a rifle, a type of destructive grenade, and my artillery grenades for the Minutemen artillery launchers. I also like to have my flare gun for the Minutemen. I also like to have a stim pack pulled up, also a bowl of soup or the noodles, a noodle cup. And if I don't have noodle cups, I'll load melons because for the weight to rads ratio, they're really good, and they also quench thirst and hunger simultaneously. So if I don't have noodle cups, I'll try to use melons. If I don't have melons, potatoes are always plentiful. I'll just load up on potatoes. They give you lots of rads, but I always do it right next to my rad arch, and then I just hop into bed, and so everything comes out in the wash there. But usually I would take like Krem's Tooth, like Michelle mentioned earlier, or like a shock baton that you get from a synth or something eventually. But I've had the Power Fist this time. I've only taken one perk in the what is it called again? The Iron Fist. But I can tell that if you get into this and then start using other different perks to help buff, I assume that there's other perks that you can use in conjunction with Iron Fist that would team up to make this thing pretty.
I don't know, but Iron Fist, I think it bloody mess, but I'm not sure.
Was that it?
I'm not sure it stacks with anything else. I mean, big leagues will stack with Blitz.
That is a travesty that Blitz does not also apply.
Yeah. So big league big leagues, Blitz, Ninja, bloody mess.
Oh, Ninja's a good one. It's
just brutal, absolutely brutal.
Yeah. That's a crazy stack right there.
Yeah.
Okay, so I got Iron Fist, and then I might have had to be better if I had re-rolled because I got Rifleman, and guys, that's one that I always lust after. I love Rifleman. It's one of my favorite perks. Even though it's only it's a low one. Is it Perception 1 or 2? I don't know. It's way down there. But it's always one of the most useful to me because I almost always use a rifle. I don't love automatic weapons. So Rifleman is good for me. But then I got Aqua Boy, which is one that I've just recently discovered specifically because of survival mode.
Yep.
Aqua Boy is amazing because you can just flee. If there's water around, it's your best friend. Just run and hop in and just swim away. Your cares, and people rarely, they might shoot at you in the water, but they don't seem to hit very well in the water if you're swimming away. And that is actually how I got into Diamond City. Instead of crawling and sneaking down, going across train tracks, and then having to do all this stuff, whatever, I just hopped in the creek or hopped in the river and just swam all the way up, and then went in through Hangman's Alley that way. It's so much easier just to swim through the river with Aqua Boy. That's awesome. Let's see. I also have Lone Wanderer, which is horrible for me. If you know my play style, I like to bring as many people along as I can. So Lone Wanderer is, of course, the perk where it gives you more carry weight, and you probably do a little more damage, even, or something. Maybe I don't remember exactly what it does. Okay, a little more damage. But I was also assigned Preston as my love interest, so I grabbed him immediately and have taken him out and about, and I've already got his perk. So I've gained Preston's 100% affinity. So I get that Lover's Embrace perk, which is really nice when you sleep. I think that gives you a little bit of bonus XP when you cash in quests and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So it pays off, everyone. If you're turning in a quest to if you're doing a Minutemen, which I love doing the Minutemen thing, if you're doing the Minutemen and you have Preston as your follower, it is so much easier than like running back and forth, constantly checking in with him either at the castle, if he's at the castle, or if he's up at Sanctuary. Who knows where the fuck this guy is? So, but you always have to be going and checking in and like, oh, another settlement needs our help. Go here. But if you have him with you, you don't have to do all that running around. And he's just like, hey, what's going on? And you're like, oh, wait, I'm going to turn around to get this experience and cash it in. It's so easy. It's great. I love taking Preston with me. Preston got this horrible bad rap when this game came out. Everybody was talking about the memes, making fun of Preston about how sending out to settlements and stuff. It's just like Jar Jar Binks, you guys. Everyone like hates on Jar Jar, hates on Preston, but just everyone's overreacting, right? They're not
just because Michael is out of town, you can't start talking about Jar Jar. Okay, all right. Would you just stop? You're gonna get canceled again. All right.
Preston is not nearly as bad as everyone thinks. I actually like him a lot. He has some pretty good lines following around. But anyway, Lone Wanderer is supposed to be my thing. So I gained Preston's total affinity, and then I just left him at Red Rocket so that when I go back to sleep, he'll be around there so I can get the Lover's Embrace perk. After Lone Wanderer, I was assigned Hacker for my intelligence. I was assigned intelligence of 4. And Hacker, I believe I only have 1 point in so far. What I'm doing with that is I'm not cashing them in beforehand, if that makes sense. I'm only, when it comes to an advanced one, I already came to an advanced terminal that I needed to get into, so I upped it to that level. But I haven't come to the, I don't know, whatever's higher than advanced. So I haven't jacked it up as high as possible yet. I'll just build it up as needed. So Hacker 4, that'll be pretty easy to do. And I'll just cash them in as I need them. And agility here, this is the big one that this is really changing my play style. Because I used to just be sort of a run and gun. Actually, like Michelle was kind of saying, like just sort of chuck in some grenades and then go in and just blast everything away with spray and pray or something really fun. But this agility, I was assigned sneak. And that means that I'm going to have to slow down and do that. But it is amazing how great sneak is. You don't even have to be crouched. If you have a sneak of like 3, you can just walk past mines. You don't even have to be sneaking, and enemy mines won't activate. It's amazing. When I was going through that part of the spoiler alert, when I was going through that part of the gauntlet here for getting into Nuka World, there's like this whole section where there's a bunch of mines, and then there's these grenade bouquets hanging from the ceiling, and like I could just walk straight through there and then bonking off of my face, and I wouldn't set them off. It was actually really fun. I like that. I really like that aspect of sneak, and it's something I've not used much in the past. So it's pretty good to use. Fortune Finder is my luck. I have more caps now at level 20 than I've had with any other character, because I burn through caps. I just buy stuff when I need. I don't see the point of saving up a bunch of caps. You know what I mean? I spend them usually with most characters, but I don't have a ton yet. I'm not like over 10,000 or anything like that. Speaking of which, do you guys have you bought those? What are they called? Like Mantis Greaves or something like that from that one armor salesman who wanders from Covenant to
Lucas.
Rhaegar. Yeah. Does he sell those mantis things? What are they called?
Yeah,
I think
Mantis.
so.
Yeah, those are really expensive. So I haven't bought those in particular. Yeah, but I bought some of the named armor.
And I don't think they even look that worth it. It's just like, oh, they're pretty cool, and then they give you +1 perception, +1 something else.
Yeah, but the named armor pieces are really weirdly priced because you can buy Wastelanders. What's the one? The chess piece from Myrna and Diamond City is really inexpensive, and it's plus agility plus perception. So I always buy that one because it's really reasonably priced.
I bought a Wastelander's leg off of Lucas, I believe.
Yeah, it's like each one of them has one that's really reasonable, and the others that are like thousands and thousands of caps.
It was only 300 and some, or maybe 500 and some. No, that's something else I've noticed that I never cared about in the past, guys, is that I'm really paying attention to putting on my charisma clothes before doing any transactions and taking a Mentats. What's the charisma one? Is it Mentat?
Great Mentats.
Yeah, great Mentat.
And it makes a huge fucking difference with how much money you get. It's remarkable how much money.
Yeah, I only do it if I'm doing a big transaction.
Yeah,
I'll do it. But if I'm just like buying a little bit of random junk or random ammo, I don't bother. But yeah, if I'm going to buy one of those armor pieces or a big gun or something, I'll do that too.
Let's see, what did I say? Fortune Finder was my assigned one, but I believe I've got 2 perks put into Fortune Finder so far. But really, is it in luck? But the Scrounger is the one that I absolutely love. Is that in luck?
Yeah.
Yep.
I have at least 2, and that is one of those priority perks for me, if that makes sense. Like after I'm getting my assigned perks, like 1 in each category, I have like priority perks that I always have to get for my character. Local leader being one of them, Scrounger absolutely being another one of them, just because I need ammo. Even though I have a ton of caps, like I will try to buy out as much of people's 45 is specifically the one I use because I love the combat rifle. And it just so happens that the Children of Adam over on Far Harbor are my assigned faction. So I'm going to go try to grab that radium rifle, the kiloton rifle, if I remember right. I think Casey reminded us of that last time. The kiloton rifle, I love that. So it's a 45. We'll go over to the Children of Adam, have some fun. Like I mentioned before, I'm staying at the Red Rocket. Preston's my lover. Dogmeat is my follower, which goes really well with Lone Wonder. I believe Marcus wrote that in to the programming. If you are assigned the Lone Wanderer perk for your charisma perk, then you are automatically assigned Dogmeat as your follower. I believe we set it up that way. And let's see, what else did I mention? Commonwealth is my my faction for the Nuka World Raiders. So I've been doing lots of Preston stuff, trying to get as many Commonwealth guys on my side, because I'm not really sure how that happens. But I'm hoping that we'll just recruit a whole giant army and we'll all just meet up right at the entry gates and we'll storm the gates. I'm hoping that'll. I know that won't happen, but I'm picturing a like a Skyrim Civil War final battle scene type thing here. The Minutemen storming the Raiders Park. God, that would be cool. Someone write that mod. That'd be fun. So that's basically my introductory character. So let's just get into some stories, guys. What have we been getting into to get up to level 30, and where are your characters now? I think I mentioned I'm at level like 28 now, and I just exited the gauntlet. So, Lee, what have you been doing to get your character ready? What have you been? What level are you now?
Bethany just got to level 30, and unfortunately, I've taken Pat's lead, and I've done an awful lot of derping around.
How do you derp? Do you build, or what do you do?
No, just I don't know, a lot of wandering. A lot of times I'll just, okay, what's another quest that I feel like doing, and I don't know. I mean, I've just been all over the map because I've been to Far Harbor and I've been all over downtown Boston.
That's great. I have
one of the things I did was with the mods. There's a mod called the Red Wave, and what that is it's a boat that's a mobile player home. It's kind of a.
saw you post this. This sounds so awesome that I wanted to. I didn't know. Is this something you have to load on a new game start, or is this something that I could load in mid game? Because this looks like a really fun mod. I saw you posted in the Facebook group.
I don't see any reason why you couldn't just add it at any time. And what it really is you've got fast travel between 24 points on the map, is what it amounts to, and the boat itself has some workbenches on it and some storage, though there are some special caveats with power armor. Because it like won't travel with you unless you're wearing it.
Oh, okay. So don't leave it on the boat and then travel with it. So the special thing about all those different locations that you can fast travel to is that they're all coastal locations, right? This is sort of like playing like if you're the mariner, sort of. You know what I mean? Like have your boat.
Yeah. Somebody mentioned being a pirate. You know.
Yeah.
It's interesting too that they've had to adjust things because you think Nordhagen Beach you'd be on the airport side. Well, probably because of there's a couple of Mirelurk Kings or something on the airport side, and so instead of putting it on that side where you might set those off accidentally, he put it on the other side of that jetty, so across the road from Nordhagen Beach. So. And
weird.
And like the guys who do power armor, the
Atom Cats.
The Atom Cats. Yeah, it's how you usually come to it from the roadside. Well, and to your left there, when you're approaching them, there's water. Well, it turns out there's water off on the right side too, and that's where he happens to put the boat for that one.
Kind of landlocked over there.
Yeah,
on the wrong side of the road, in a pond.
There's a lot of nooks and crannies to the water system around there.
Will it let you go up and down the river at all? Are there any locations?
No, it's just a fast travel point is what it amounts to.
Yeah.
You don't like I was talking to a friend of mine about it. He said, "Oh, well, you could just sit off the shore and plink at the stuff on shore." And no, it docks and you're there.
Yeah, that'd be fun if it let you travel like as if by horseback on Skyrim. If you actually got to travel on the boat.
Right. And of course, you can still do that plinking idea. It's just there's only one place where they can get onto the boat. So if you can keep them away from you, you can. You can use it as a stronghold sort of thing.
And I saw that it actually has an active marker, which is the most important part because I would fucking lose the boat, which is like, crap, where did I leave my boat? Oh no.
Absolutely.
Do they do anything fun like there's a similar mod, Lee, that makes you go on some sort of like minor fetch quest to gather some equipment and gear to construct a motorcycle, and then similarly you use a motorcycle to fast travel. You don't actually get to get on the motorcycle and drive it anywhere, but you do get to fast travel points like that. This sounds like a similar sort of idea.
It does. There isn't anything you do. You just you pick it up in Far Harbor.
I wish that you had to like find an old abandoned boat and then like get go find the rudder and then bring a go get you need to find a couple of gears to repair the engine, and then you have to go to a hardware store to get a fresh coat of paint. Or the most important part, you have to go get a bottle of champagne to christen it.
You have to get the fuel though.
I'm glad you said that, Michelle. This is something I was thinking when I was running around checking to see why my fucking electrified water purifier wasn't giving me any water. I was turning on and off my gas-powered I'm assuming gas-powered generator, and then I would like pause and I was thinking, wait a second, I haven't put a drop of gasoline or any sort of fuel for that matter into this generator. How the fuck is this generator just running 24 hours a day for now a couple of months straight without me putting any fuel in it? Does it have a nuclear reactor in it? Is that what we're supposed to believe?
A recycling system.
Yeah. Infinite system. It's miraculous.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember. I want to say that I've only used this thing a couple times, so I don't know if it has a fuel requirement or not.
Yeah, I think so. I watched the video on
Mhm.
YouTube, and it's similar to the truck in New Vegas. You have to put some fuel. After sometimes it won't go anywhere if you don't put some flamer fuel.
And
Oh, okay.
I was about to ask you, is it like Mr. Handy fuel or flamer fuel or used
I know that.
engines or
I know you can
fuel
use
makes sense.
flamer fuel, and maybe you can use other kind of fuel too. I don't remember.
Hmm.
I wanted to ask, the traveling points, are they the same as when you're using the usual fast travel?
No, not at all.
Okay.
So like when you fast travel to Nordhagen Beach, you end up, right near the little house. Okay, but with the boat, you end up on the other side of the road. With the boat, he has a little gangplank he puts down for
And-
you to get onto the beach.
and you can only access coastal regions, am I right? Like you can't go to Sanctuary with this boat, right?
Right. Well, it's a 24 set places, and
Yeah.
like one of the destinations is Bunker Hill, but you're not literally at Bunker Hill. You're down the street from it at the coast.
You probably have to take a jog up the way.
Yeah, but it's like maybe a block and a half.
Okay.
So it's as close as they could get.
Yeah, that's nice.
And when you look at the, I think I also linked to the Nexus page, and on the Nexus page there's a map that shows you where the 24 places are.
Wow. Sweet.
So-
Man, I was gonna suggest that we maybe move towards discussing the first quest, but no, it's much too deep into the episode to start discussing this first quest, because the first quest is an awesome, deep spiderweb, cool like story that if you're not paying attention is very confusing and like just really well written. I really am excited to discuss this Tales from the Commonwealth quest that we get into here. But we still need to get into what everyone was doing to get ready. Pat, what were you running around doing, leveling all the way up to level?
Yes, yeah. So for me, I was doing like a lot of my sort of favorite quests in the game. Just things that I enjoy. Just for whatever reason, I have a lot of fun, like the Museum of Witchcraft, or trying to think of some of the other specific examples. Corvega. Just quests that I just find to be a lot of fun, because they're ones that you either get good sniping opportunities, or you get some good like sneaking around and killing raiders or whatever. So I got my character up to level 40. So my favorite perks that I have been working on are Armorer, Lockpick and Hacker. I
Both, yeah.
Yeah, I like both of those. And sometimes I'll do a character where I have just one or the other, or I've done characters where I had neither. But to me, the favorite is to get both of those up to master, and then that way basically you can open anything. And I just find that to be a lot of fun, because you get the experience adds up. You do all that. You have access to whatever, any location in the game, any goodies in the game. So I have both of those up to master level. I've got Gun Nut, and that's again, one of my other pet theories about the game is the Gun Nut is really important, because that lets you get your damage maximized as fast as possible. So I'm kind of a believer in the glass hammer theory that I do both defense and offense, but I do offense first because you want to be able to deal as much damage as possible. Because
in survival mode specifically.
Yeah, especially in survival mode, right? Because no matter how good you get your defense up, you're only going to be so tough.
2 shots max.
Yeah, exactly. Like, or like if you're against a Deathclaw or a Sentry Bot, 1 shot. Like a Sentry Bot, like you can be level 40 with Ballistic Weave 3 on every piece of and good armor, and you can still get 1 shot by a Sentry Bot. So I like Gun Nut 4. I got my Gun Nut up. I've also got Science up because I'm using a laser pistol as one. So I it's interesting, Andrew. You're talking about you seem to play where you have one of sort of each type of weapon, like a rifle, an automatic weapon, maybe a pistol, maybe a melee weapon. I don't bother. I just go with one thing. So for this character, Gunslinger's a main perk.
A long range and a close range, at least. You don't differentiate between those two.
Well, so that I do, but everything I'm carrying is a pistol. It's a non-auto. I'm carrying 4 non-automatic pistols.
You have like a scoped pistol.
Yeah, that's right. So I've got the Old Faithful from Arturo and Diamond City, which is it's got the
tell me about that.
It's got the it does double damage. Let's see, what is instigating? It's got the instigating perk on it. So it does double damage if your target is at full health. So it's really good for sniping because you sneak up on an enemy who's at full health, and you're going to do double damage. And then if you have sneak, you're going to do quadruple damage because you do 2 times sneak, 2 times for the weapon benefit. So I put a really good scope on that weapon and put all the sniper mods and the best range. But what happens with the laser pistols is when you maximize range and you only have 12 capacity, your ammo goes down to 12. Your clip goes down to 12. So your ammo capacity is terrible.
Yeah.
So when I'm at closer range, I switch over to the Deliverer, which just like is just crazy good because it fires so fast. It has a clip of 16.
Yeah.
You get the fast reload, blah blah blah, whatever. So I have the Deliverer for close range. I have the Old Faithful for long range, and then I've got a 44 that I picked up. It doesn't have a legendary effect, but that was the one I was using to test the Bash perk. And I got it like all tooled up. I put the bayonet on it. I was like, okay, I'm going to use this for my Bash perk, and it was a complete disaster.
What does that look like on a 44?
Oh, it's stupid. It looks stupid as shit. It's basically like having like a saber attached to a 44 pistol.
It's amazing.
But like it's completely no. So my normal method for like dealing with rad roaches or ghouls is I'll use Deliverer and so that gun, the Deliverer, will take out a rad roach with 1 shot. It'll take out most ghouls with 1 or maybe 2 shots. And so I can get off like 15 shots with the Deliverer with 1 bats round. So I can kill like 15 rad roaches or 8 ghouls with 1 bats round on the Deliverer. And I tried doing the Bash and basically with the Deliverer, I can like kill like 10 ghouls or 8 ghouls and not take a single point of damage. But when I did Bash, yes, I could kill the ghouls, but they were still hitting me, and they were affecting the shit out of me. So I like, or even rad roaches. Like I could kill rad roaches with Bash, but I was taking so much damage and getting so many infections. Like every time I would fight a rad roach, I would get an infection. So I just can't believe that Bash is in any way. I just can't fathom how Bash could be a useful perk. Because if you've got a gun in your hand, you want to shoot things. That's the fundamental point of a gun, is you can kill things at range. So why you would compromise the benefit of a gun by letting the enemy get close enough to bash them, I just don't understand at all how it works. Maybe one of the listeners is successful at Bash, because I would really love to hear, how does Bash make any sense whatsoever?
And why do they include it as a perk?
It's just stupid. The only reason you would do it is like if you're out of ammunition, but that's just bad planning. Once you're to level 10, you should never run out of ammunition. Never, because you've got enough benders and enough shit in the game that you could always have enough ammunition.
Does the button one pistol do more damage than another?
I don't care. It doesn't matter because you have to let the thing get close enough to hit you. Why would you do that? That's the point of a fucking gun, is to kill things in a range. It's just very frustrating to me that I don't understand how the perk even makes sense at all in the game.
Well, maybe it's mainly when you're in survival that it's a problem, because then you have the, worse problems with disease and things.
Yeah, you don't want anything near you in survival mode. Well, most people.
Yeah, it could be. Maybe in like a very hard, it makes more sense. But in survival, it makes no sense because the ghouls and the rad roaches give you infections every time. Well, not literally every time, but if you get mobbed by a bunch of ghouls or a bunch of rad roaches, if you let them all hit you, you're going to get an infection very likely. And then you have to deal with the antibiotics or go to a doctor or blah 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 blah. So. Yeah, so I think the Basher in survival mode, Basher is just a completely worthless perk. And again, maybe one of the listeners has good luck with it. I'd love to hear how people use it productively in a survival game.
I would like to hear that. That'd be awesome to hear that. Someone who completes the game with only Basher. He doesn't shoot anyone. He just
oh my god, that would be the most terrible challenge ever.
Challenge your Twitch. Weirdest builds. Is it weirdest builds?
Weirdest builds, yeah.
You should challenge him to do at least a couple levels of that, because that'd be fun. Bash only.
he did this one thing that actually even he was defeated by, where he did this what he called was the legendary swapper build, where he had to, every time he encountered a legendary item, he had to equip it immediately and drop whatever he was carrying.
Oh, that's fun. That's really
it's fun, but it's completely impractical. I watched him, and he's a really good Fallout player, and that was the most frustrated I've ever seen him, because well, think about it. You'll be going from carrying, you might have like something like spray and pray, and then all of a sudden you get a legendary item, and you're having to hit people with a freezing rolling pin. It is very difficult to build a character that can cope with that sort of level of randomness.
He also did it with the armor and clothing as well.
Yeah, he did. Yeah. Awesome. So and I mean that's not as painful, because you're still just swapping around armor pieces. If you swap out armor, you still got armor. But for the weapon, it was extremely painful.
That's fun. I like that idea. Good for him.
I mean, it was great to see him try it, but genuinely, I mean, I have never seen him more frustrated than he was playing that build.
Yeah, it would depend on the order you pick stuff up in.
Yeah, well, it's completely random, right? Freezing rolling pin, furious walking stick. You just get some pretty shitty random, ghoul slayers, ghoul slayers combat knife, whatever. So.
Yeah, and when you don't have the perks that goes with it.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, and with that build, you have to have every perk. You need Iron Fist, you need Big Leagues, you need Gunslinger, you need Commando, and you need Rifleman, because you might pick up any of those things. Now, he had a much better build. Like he was able to do, he did a build where he did only the 10mm gun, and that he was able to be successful because he could tune his stats to say, I've always got a 10mm gun in my hand. And that was actually more workable than this crazy legendary swapper thing.
Pat, I was going to mention, we've talked a little bit about ways that doing certain things or not doing certain things may complicate certain quests. In my playthrough, I'm supposed to romance dance, and I realized at like level 28 that I hadn't found and killed Kellogg yet. So that meant that the Pred one wasn't there.
Yeah.
So I wasn't sure how far I could go with dance without the Pred one there. Without the doing anything for the Brotherhood, so to speak.
I don't even remember where you pick him up. Is he just over at the police station? Is it Cambridge?
Cambridge.
Okay. Oh yeah, when you roll in. He's there when you roll in while the ghouls are attacking, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And you do the Arjet system quest after.
Yeah.
Does he follow you then?
You follow him.
You follow him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Screw the Brotherhood. Let's see. I've just been doing lots of Minutemen stuff. I've been setting up my Minutemen artillery at every location that I can. Every settlement, I try to go to a settlement. I try to do their little quest. Help! We got feral ghouls attacking. Go kill them. Help! They're super mutants over there. They've been giving us a stink eye. Please go shoot them in the face for looking at us wrong. So I've been doing all that, setting up artillery as far as I can. I go to Sanctuary. I have the recruitment beacon set up there. I've got a bunch of people, I don't know, maybe 16, 17 settlers up there at Sanctuary, but I've sent most of them out as provisioners. So there are a bunch of people who technically live there, but almost no one is actually there. There's a few people who I have farming some razor grain and potato, stuff like that. I've got both an adhesive and noodle cup a farm or whatever, however you want to say that, going up there at Sanctuary. And I didn't want any people with me over at Red Rocket because I want it just to be, because Susan doesn't really have people, you know what I mean? She lives with robots. So I built a robot workbench over here at the Red Rocket, and I'm trying to just fill it up with as many robots I can find. But it's fucking a ridiculous investment of raw junk to build a robot. It is crazy how much ceramic and how much circuitry, how much rubber, how much this and that you need to. It's a bunch of each thing. It's at least 6 items of each category to get to build a stupid robot.
She should have damn brought them with her from the vault.
Yeah, so just open the vault, bring them all out, guys. Well, that's another thing that we need to discuss. Lee, when you first heard the podcast West Vault Radio, and you heard Mr. Wigglesworth, her co-host, robot co-host, who speaks through a series of clicks and beeps, what sort of robot did you imagine him to be?
I just thought he was a Mr. Handy. Probably the most common. You would think, a household, you would think Mr. Handy would be the most common, but I guess in an industrial setting, kind of like a vault, maybe a Protectron would have been more common.
Yeah, I see that now too. But you're right. My initial thought was that he was a Mr. Handy in my head. Pat,
talking about Mr. Wigglesworth.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had him in mind as kind of a Codsworth type Mr. Handy. Yeah,
me too.
Same here.
I think for me it was the English accent, like thinking about Codsworth and what's the guy in the third rail and Good Neighbor. What's
the
Charlie? Whatever. Anyway, that guy who's got the British accent. That's kind of why I had the Mr. Wigglesworth pegged as a Mr. Handy.
But Mr. Wigglesworth doesn't speak, so why would I make the assumption that he's a Mr. Handy when he doesn't speak? Do all Mr. Handys speak?
Well, I mean, so all the default robots speak.
All robots speak.
Well, and then too, part of it was that they had repaired her and made her able to understand that. Maybe that was easier for them to deal with. You get what I'm saying?
Elaborate if you can.
Well, before the revelation of what had happened in the vault, the uprising of the others against the talent. Apparently during that fighting, she had gotten hurt. And the robots did their best to repair her. She had gotten a head wound, was what came out at the end of the first season.
Oh, great!
And then in the beginning of the second season, they revealed that there was a whole section of the vault. The door was right near the studio. But they had done something to her such that she didn't see the door until after the revelation and all that.
Beautiful.
So that was the impression I got.
Yeah.
from what she said.
Oh, perfect. So yeah, I the first one had my robot. I'm trying to create a Mr. Wigglesworth, and he was a Mr. Handy flying around, and I'm uploading some pictures and saying, look at Mr. Wigglesworth, and Laura's all like, no, that's not what Mr. Wigglesworth looks like. Try again. He's a big dopey clunky guy waddles around. So I've given him. She said a Robo Brain head, so it took a while, but I found a Robo Brain head at the second part of the quest in Automatron when Ada sends you out to find those little locator chips or whatever. On the second one that she sent you out on, I got a Robo Brain head, so I brought that back and I put it on like a Protectron body, I believe, because those are big, sort of clunky trash.
That's what she suggested.
And I gave it some high damage arms, so that must have been an Assaultron claw, and I probably put a laser on the other arm. And I can't stand super slow. Like I always put thrusters on my robots so that they keep up with me, so that they're quick. And I know that if you want big and clunky, I should probably put the Protectron legs on there, but I decided to go with the Assaultron legs, those sexy Assaultron legs. Isn't it weird how those Assaultron legs are cut? So creepy. I don't know why they did that, but the Assaultron legs on the big clunky torso with the Robo Brain head, it's a really kind of fun robot. And I did it in the blue. You have to choose one color. I wish that you could do a couple different colors on your robots, but I put it in blue so that it looks like a Vault-Tec robot. So that's pretty much what I've been doing. Just sort of like, okay, I've been doing all the Minutemen stuff, getting all that stuff set up, but really I've been checking in with the Railroad a ton because I'm trying to get that damn ballistic weave, because once I do that, then I can put Susan in some real clothes. Like I'll get, I don't know if you can put it in the Minuteman General's coat, but there's some like colonial duster coat that's really nice looking, that's really sharp, that I'd like to put Susan in and get some ballistic weave in that, so I can actually get some good clothing, because I'm running around in like military fatigues with combat armor and stuff like that, and it just doesn't feel Susan to me. You know what I mean?
Can I make a couple of quick points?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Please.
My first thought when she said it had a Robo Brain head, it was like, okay, you get a Robo Brain head. Well, what if there's no brain? Where do you get a donor brain? Settlers.
She's Dr. Stein, Susan.
Yeah, there you go. And touching back on mods again, if you go into some of the clothing mods, some of those have like 10 or 20 armor on them, and that it makes a good stopgap before you get ballistic weave. In my playthrough, though, because I had the mod in right from the beginning, it was like, man, I don't really want to be so overpowered early on, so I made a deal with myself saying, okay, well, I'm not going to put anything with plus 10 on it until I get to like level 10. And I'm not going to use anything that had plus 20 on it until I get to level 20. And so that helped even it out a little bit, but it gives you a little more protection early on through using some of the clothing mods.
What do you have any names? Any specific suggestions?
Okay, here's the list. Most of these you have to use one of the body mods, and CBBE is Caliente's Beautiful Body Enhancer or something. I've forgotten the exact acronym, but anyway, CBBE. And then to be able to make some of the stuff, there's a thing called Armor and Weapons Keywords. And for the workbench to use that, it's called Armor Smith Extended. Then there's a set that's Clothing of the Commonwealth, which basically makes all the normal clothing compatible with the CBBE and stuff. And one thing that does as well is it takes off the restriction of not being able to put armor over a lot of things.
Oh, that is great.
You can basically put armor on anything.
That's amazing. Because I hated that you get this awesome looking coat, but you can't put the armor on top of it.
Right. Well, that's why I think I posted a picture where Bethany had on a dress and armor, and it was because I wanted the dress for charisma plus armor because we were going to go talk to the mobster and his girlfriend.
Yeah.
And so it's like I wanted charisma to convince a girlfriend to leave, and I wanted armor in case things went bad. So that worked out pretty well. Then Eleonora has a group of things called Ellie's Armor Compendium, and that's got some nice looking stuff in it. Some of those, for some reason, they're barefoot, and it's like, man, I just really don't like having my character barefoot or even my settlers. And there's a thing called Flat Shoes Pack that adds several things, but it's just some flat shoes you can put on as well.
You do not want to be walking around with no shoes in this world. Are you people crazy?
Well, you know, your feet would get pretty tough, but still.
Action immediately, gross.
Then there's some mini dresses that are a little too skimpy, and then there's some short sets that are pretty good. And of course, to go with this stuff, one of the basic things you want is a thing called outfit switcher, because then you can save slots with various outfits in it, so you can then easily switch. Like when you're going to go buy stuff, you switch to a charisma outfit and that kind of thing.
Yeah, I've got that. I haven't really figured it out, though. I need to sit down and really figure out how that works, because I tried to load it a couple different times. I was like, I don't know. This is weird. I can't really.
Yeah, you end up with two items in your inventory, one of which is to set up the configurations.
Yeah.
And the other one is to do the switching. And you can assign the switching to a favorite. And I usually use the dash key. And so you can, switch through outfits that way.
Yeah. See, Denny always suggested that, so that's why I loaded it. But I really need to just figure out how that works, how I get the different outfit bundles assigned. Like
you're overcomplicating it. It really is simple.
I'm sure.
I think you're making it harder than it needs to be.
I always do that.
There's another mod that I tried, but it really, really overpowered you too early. There's a thing called Nate's Old Footlocker. And what it has in it is like 1,000 rounds of several different ammos. And there's like a good combat rifle and some good combat armor or heavy combat armor. And it's like, early on, you're just too invincible. So I went ahead and turned that one off again.
Yeah. Well, Lee, you don't want to be too much of a God mode guy here at the beginning.
Exactly. That's why I did it. That's why I took it back off.
You just be melting through everyone so easily. Yeah. So, anybody have any other things they'd like to mention that they're doing to prepare their character to get up to level 30 before getting into the first couple quests? Michelle, you are level 60. You mentioned all your Harborman stuff. Was there any specific funny stories or events that happened while you were running around with Shirley?
Yeah, at Saugus Ironworks.
Yes.
I died, I'd say 30, 35 times.
Oh my lord.
in the final fight.
Yeah,
she was level 13, I think, at the time, and
oh wow.
I didn't remember that that fight was so hard. And I tried everything. I put some mines, but I was dying from my mines because they were as soon as I opened the door, they were following me, and they were triggering the mines, but I was still there beside the door. So that didn't work. I tried to go up the stairs, but I didn't have time. They were 4 or 5 and shooting at me all at the time. So that was a hard fight, very hard fight.
I hate
that sword, and that freaking sword that I never used anyway.
Yeah,
Uh,
healing sword or something. I don't even remember what it's called.
I don't remember either. I had a lot of fun playing differently. Like for the settlements, if you remember, Jennifer was always filling the settlements with 20, 22, 23 settlers, decorating, putting everything. Shirley is not like that. Shirley is manipulative. She plays nice just so that she can get advantages from people. So she went to unlock as many settlements as possible, but she was only putting one settler on the supply line to be sure that she could mod their armor or her weapons, and she was putting one settler on the food, and that's all. Some turrets, so 2 or 3 people in every settlement. That's all. That was very different from my usual play style.
That's good. So, do you have something you'd like to set up for like a food, a food source? You don't worry about the resources and stuff as much, right?
I use what it's always there, like a Grey Garden.
Mm-hmm.
They already have something. Finch Farm, they already have something. At Coastal Cottage, which was my assigned settlement, I've put crops for corn, new fruit, and what's the other one? Uh, for the stars,
Potatoes.
potatoes. Yeah, I missed the question and the bunker of the hill, and I still
Wasn't that a
don't know,
trivia
don't
question?
remember.
Yeah.
So that's about it. I explore a lot. So that's why with the settlements unlocked everywhere, you can put your junk everywhere, and it's always available when you want a mod. That's one of the big advantage of having the local leader too. When
Yep.
you want a mod, you find a good weapon. I don't fast travel. I don't want to have to go to Coastal Cottage way up north every time I want to mod a piece of armor or a weapon. So with the local leader, you can have your junk, and all the workshops are connected.
So, what is actually shared then between those? Is it only junk, or is it beneficial food as well? I think it's only junk.
I'm not sure. I think some of the if you put weapon armor, I think it can take the pieces of it out of it,
Oh,
the
okay.
leather or the screws or anything. I'm not sure, but I think so.
I think it's anything you can craft. So junk would share and aid would share, but
But
like
not
not
everything in aid, because I
yeah.
thought I would put everything, and I went somewhere and I didn't have the buff outs, or I didn't have there was something I didn't have in the workshop, and it was connected, or it's a
Yeah,
glitch.
yeah. I'm not. Yeah, I'm not. I understood last time I had a local leader playthrough. I figured this out, but I can't. Yeah, you're right, Michelle. It's not everything, but like
No,
water is shared and razor grain is shared and adhesive is shared. You know, it's not just junk,
no,
but it's not everything either. So I forget
no.
exactly how what the rules are.
Anything used in
Yeah, I don't think clothing and weapons are shared.
That's right. Yeah, yeah. But junk and like ammunition is not. So maybe it's junk and like certain items that are on the aid tab, like
But
water.
but armor pieces and weapons, when you break them, you put the junk pieces in it. So
Yeah, the mods themselves.
yeah.
the mods are shared? No way.
That's what I thought he told us.
No, if you go to the workshop and you break your you scrap your 10 millimeter, the pieces you get are shared.
Yeah, the scrap, not the not
Yeah.
if you take a mod off something.
No, that's what I meant when I said the weapons and the armor pieces. When you break them, you scrap them, you get the junk pieces.
Is he dead?
Oh, great. Guys, this has been a really good introduction. I felt that we've gotten a pretty good background of a lot of our characters. We can also mention our past stories and the things that come up again when we discuss the quests next time we meet, which will be next week. If you guys are available, you are more than welcome to please come back and discuss the first couple quests with us. I'm not sure if Kara has school stuff going on next week or not, but hopefully she'll be able to hop on. And I'm not sure if Denny's work schedule cleared up or not, but maybe Denny can check in with us too, at least with some audio feedback or something, hopefully. So Pat, I accidentally had to mute you there, but you can. Oh wait, Pat is signing off. It's fine. Pat, thanks for hopping on. It was good to talk to you. It was great to hear about your character and where we're going with this. But next time we'll hop into a couple of quests. Let's go ahead and check in here. We will talk about Under the Bridge. That is part of the Tales of the Commonwealth mod. Also, Saints and Sinners, part of the Tales of the Commonwealth mod. Then we'll get into the first two quests of the Nuka World DLC. We will play the quest All Aboard and Taken for a Ride. So that'll be April 20th. We'll also meet up to discuss those quests and how our roundtable characters got through that using our different assigned random characters. So I suggest everyone please check in with us next episode. And Lee, thank you so much for hopping on and podcasting with us tonight, sir. It's very nice to speak with you.
Thank you, sir.
And Michelle, it was great to have the current King of the Bunker Hill champion on the show right now. So
Yeah, a privileged one to have been in the Vault 97.
it's great. And we will check in with another episode of King of the Bunker Hill very soon. So keep your ear to the floor for that. I'd like to thank everyone for listening to this episode of the Fallout Feed Roundtable. And we will see you in the wasteland.
Bye.
Take care.
Help if I had the outro song queued up. I'm always good about that sort of thing.
That's what editing is for.
Thank you for downloading this episode of the Fallout Feed Roundtable. If you are interested in doing a play-along character with us, the show can be contacted by emailing falloutroundtable@gmail.com. For the roundtable schedule, our Amazon link, and all other show information, please head on over to ASAPodcasting.com, where you will find the Fallout Feed, the Skyrimatic Podcast, our YouTube channel, the Chatterbox, as well as other content. Once again, thank you for downloading, and we'll see you in the wasteland.
Take care, guys.
See you.
Bye-bye.